All right, good evening. Just going to do a quick little market update video here. We've been having some volatility in the markets here as of recent, as we've been closing in or attempting to get close to these all-time highs. You can see, we hit them back here in late July, struggled throughout the month of August with trade concerns, and then we've continued this rally back up through mid September. Came up here, made new highs on the SPY, and since we've just kind of been fading back down, but we're reaching an interesting point. We've got both the 50 and the 100-day right here on this daily chart, which are pretty pinched together at the moment, and we've got the price action coming down. So we might see a nice little bounce off that. We also have this support level right in here. So I marked this at the high 293s all the way up to 295. So it's kind of a support zone. And the reason I go up to 295 is due to these moving averages, along with the fact that this top squeaks up almost to the $295 price point. But it's a nice little level right in here at the high 293s. But as we continue this, to get pushed down, we want to see a break of this downward trend. So to more clearly show that to you, I'm going to pull up the hourly chart here. So this is our rounded edge. We made our highs, and then we just kind of started fading downward. And if you can kind of see what I'm getting at here, we have this nice little downward pattern right here. And every time that we, come close to this line, it seems as if we sell off. You can see here, what was this? Thursday was today, Wednesday, Tuesday morning here. We opened up right on it. This would have been the first point, and we sold off. Gained a little bit back on Tuesday, right as the market was closing. Wednesday, we saw a nice little run up. And then Thursday morning, again, we opened right on it, sold off throughout the morning, rallied back up. It was pretty extravagant rally back up today. It was very, very difficult for the bulls to get their feet under them, but they did eventually, but just to get kind of hammered as the market was closing out today. So, as we close out tomorrow, not really looking to see any super significant moves. My guess is we're going to trade anywhere between 297 and probably 295. But if we were to break these lows down here around 295, again, this is that support zone that I was talking about. We may come down here to the high 293s, 294, and potentially find some support down here and bounce. But that would be, a relatively bearish sign. We probably got some people with stops right down here in the high 294s. So if we were to zip through those, we could easily see this 293, the high 293s right down in here. But on the flip side, so let's say we, tomorrow, again, it's a little bit more volatile. We don't stay in this 295 to 297 range, and we were to pop through this downward trend and start to curl back up here on this daily chart. And it might be that we open a little bit down and then find support. Maybe the shorts are getting out. They had their fair share for the week. They made their money. They're getting out. They don't want to risk it over the weekend. And we see a nice little short squeeze pushing us back up, and maybe starting to flatten out that 9-day moving average as we roll into next week. So that is also another possible scenario. But as we sit currently, the volume is kind of low at the moment. I think the markets are a little bit uneasy with the impeachment talks, the issues, the president may or may not have had with Ukraine, the trade tensions. There's just a lot going on, and so I think that there's a lot more people who are taking a step back and just kind of waiting to see what goes on politically before throwing some dollars at the market here. Um, but again, let's look to see what we do with this downward pattern. If we break to the downside, let's say we break through these high 293s. The next mark that I have up there is there we go, is this bottom right in here. That line looks really crooked. Yeah, it is very crooked. Okay, so right around in there, and that is right at the low 290s, or 290 and some change. So if we were to fade through this, it could be, pretty rapid move, or pretty rapid decline, if there isn't a whole lot of support in here. But it could be the case that there are a lot of buyers, right at this upper end of this whipsaw pattern that we saw back in early August, or basically throughout the entirety of August. There might be some good buyers right at the top end of this range. So we'll just have to see if we do in fact break down below this high 293, call it 294 level. We might see some buyers step in here. Otherwise, I would look to see it down here around 290. If we were to fail that, I think the markets, maybe something in the markets or politically, something has spooked the markets. If it has to do with the trade concern or the impeachment talks start to gain some strength, we really start to roll to the downside. We could quickly see, way down here around this 284 mark. Now, do I see that tomorrow? No, I don't see that tomorrow. But as we come into the next couple of weeks, that is a possible scenario that could play out. So, I do say, expect, or not expect, but don't count out the impossible. If it can happen, it just might. Especially with the market we're in now, where it seems like tweets kind of move the markets. So just be careful, be mindful, have a plan set up, and trade smart. You don't want to go into a trade flying blind. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Here it is on a little bit of a shorter time frame, from starting up here at our highs, moving downward. So you can kind of picture it on this level too. If you wanted to look at it from another aspect, where you might want to change your short or long position, is if we were to break the lows from yesterday or today, Thursday. If we were to start moving down and we made lower lows than what we made here on Thursday, that might be a sign that we are heading even lower if no buyers step in prior to there. But let's say buyers were to step in maybe in the low 296s, which I think we're trading at roughly mid to higher 296s right now. But let's say buyers were to step in around 296, and we start squeezing on this line. We see enough volume and momentum by the end of the day. Again, with that short squeeze, it could happen. We could see a push through. So that lower or that higher low would be a sign potentially as we move into tomorrow. So again, these are just ideas that I have of potential things that we could see. So again, the more that you follow these markets, the more patterns that you see, the easier it is to kind of get an idea of what could potentially happen. So again, I hope this video was helpful with a potential trade. Goodness gracious, I'm losing it here. A potential trading strategy for you here on SPY. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening.